Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, God.
Match week 17. We are back. Let Brian pour his drink. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing well.
Mate, you're talking to us or them?
It's a new year. This is the first, right?
This is the first episode of 2021.
Yeah, this is the new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Happy New Year.
Hopefully this year's
Thanks.
doing good for you so far. Big
Hopefully it's
6
better
days
than
in.
2021. 2020.
2020.
Well, Dan, speaking of
I gotta
worse,
go, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those days
Let's
already.
hope it's a
one of
good
those days, one of those
2020.
years, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Good
So,
2020.
good 2020.
So, Happy New Year.
So as we were all hungover and refreshing ourselves, we got to watch some games this weekend. And now we get to talk about them and drink again.
Yeah.
Yay.
Gotta love it. Let's get into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink. You lead us off here.
Okay. The first game, Everton, West Ham.
Yeah.
This was January 1st, New Year game on a Friday. West Ham go into Everton and win this one, 1-0.
Yeah, a pretty good game. Although you thought every time we think Everton's back, right? They're back. They just let us down just a little bit every time.
No, I think they're finally hitting their, where they should be. Where are they in the table right now? Probably like 6 or 7 or
7, yeah.
8? Yeah. I feel like that's where they're going to finish.
Do you think, so like I said, they're hitting kind of like their plateau, I guess, so to speak. Like, this is where they're probably going to be between, like,
But are we really
7.
putting them below West Ham, or are we just saying like West Ham got the result here? Like, do we think West Ham's a better team at this point?
The way they're
Is that
playing,
what we're saying?
I think so.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, is that what we're saying?
Well, here's
Teams, they hit strides and then they hit, lulls.
yeah.
So,
I
like, to
think
me,
every
like,
team, too.
Everton had the best start of the season out of any team. Them and probably Villa, I think, were two of the best teams at the beginning of the season. West Ham started somewhat slow, and now they've been one of the most... I mean, they've lost here and there, but I feel like their play has been pretty consistent,
Yeah.
since the third or fourth week.
Now, do you think that, like I said, Everton's kind of hitting kind of like their plateau here, where now we're thinking, all right, they're going to be like between, say, 8th and 6th in the table, like somewhere in that 3, maybe somewhere around there in the middle of the table. How much of a difference does James make when he comes back?
Well, he came back at the end of this game, but not with enough time to really make a difference.
Once he's back, healthy, do they go back to that team they were in the beginning of the year? Is he that much of an influence on this team?
I mean, you get James back soon. I also think you get Digne back soon. He's supposed to come back towards the end of January.
I think he's a probably bigger miss than
Yeah, I
James,
forgot about
honestly,
Digne.
if you ask me.
When they're playing his side of the field and they push the ball to that side, he creates so many chances and makes so many dangerous runs. I really do think he's a big miss. Like, since he's been gone, they haven't been the same team. Since he's been gone. Are you guys gonna laugh because I said that?
We were singing that before you got
Before you got here, we were saying since you've been gone, like back and forth.
Well, since he's been gone, they haven't played the same. And I think they're definitely missing that extra element of attacking going forward. I mean, Godfrey's been okay and pretty decent in his absence, but I think
he's a center back. He's a natural center back.
Right, it's not the same.
He's not a wing back like Digne is, which is the way they like to play. They've always been him and what's his name? Coleman. On the outside, have always, bombed up the field and tried to look for that ball in. So that they have to kind of adjust. And I feel like they're not adjusting how they should, or, they're running into issues that they're not used to playing. They have to change their shape.
I also feel like, too, with Digne back, I mean, he can get up the field and he can play the ball into the box. Anyone James in the middle, I feel like you even saw Calvert-Lewin, he scored, almost 2 goals a game for the first 4 games. Like, he was just on fire. And now he's even slowing down.
Well, again, that could also be lack of
you
players.
See that,
Lack of, what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for?
Lack of quality
no,
around him?
No.
Supplying,
thank you.
Well,
lack of supply.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's also part of the reason that his game's suffering, because he doesn't have that, that quality of the God, now I'm struggling.
There you go.
Speak.
We'll get words eventually, guys. Don't worry.
But again, like, you can't take anything away from West Ham. Like,
they fought and they won this game.
Yeah, and like Dan said, they're, beginning of the year they look good. I mean, they're kind of finding a bit of a rhythm here, and I said you look at the stats in this game, it's pretty even for the most part.
No, it wasn't.
It looks pretty. It's 60-4. That's kind of even. Well, look at the shots. You balance out. West Ham has more shots.
Yeah,
more chances.
I mean, all right. If you go off of like chances wise, is even possession wise, Everton controlled the ball more. But I mean, West Ham sat back and defended well.
To me, unless possession's like 70-30, it's pretty even. If there's anything in between that. Oh, okay.
Bad benchmark. All right.
Shit.
So
Knocking ball around the back
as we all would
doesn't
expect
count.
for West Ham, Suchek scores.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, the last couple of games he's been
scoring,
scoring,
yeah.
so I would expect it.
He scores an interesting goal, to say the very least.
With, what, 5 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of his are just like right place, right time. He just gets a foot on or head on or something.
I mean, if there was a definition of right place, right time,
It was his
That's
goal.
him.
I mean, there's a good chance he didn't even know this was coming. I mean, it's a ball that gets
his
bounced around
natural
the box, comes out. I forget who takes the shot, but takes the shot. It gets deflected, and then basically just hits him in the foot,
Yeah.
and then goes in. And he'll take it. He don't care.
Yeah. I mean, and especially
And they-
when it's the game winner.
Right, and the team doesn't care.
5 minutes left.
And to win away at Goodison, that's a good result for West Ham.
Yeah.
Bad
and
result for Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was saying, you know what, we'll touch on it later. Chancery and stuff. Because there is a West Ham player that is apparently going to be out the door in the next few days.
Oh, well, we will get
We'll
to
touch on
transfer
that.
news later,
Yep.
as well as the best young players in the league. So stay tuned.
Yep.
Or if you want to fast forward to the end.
I'm going to
Whatever
get absolutely roasted, like I always do.
you want.
It's
And-
fine.
All right, moving on to the next game, and a very good game as well.
Yeah. 2-1, Manchester United win at Old Trafford. This was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was a
this
really
was
good
just
game.
end to end constantly.
Yeah.
Now I think in this game, for me, there's there's one player that really stood out in this game.
Fred.
He makes me want to vomit constantly.
I know who you're gonna say.
Who am I gonna say?
Bailly.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game.
I think it should have been Fred.
No, like for the entire game, he was pretty much on Watkins when the ball was getting played up. Because he tried to play the ball long to him a few times, and he was shutting him down. For me, I feel like he goes reckless into some challenges, but he always seems to win the ball, and the ref just never calls it. But he's a player he had some injuries in the past, and I was like, all right, like I saw him in the starting 11, I'm like, all right, we're kind of fucked. Like going forward, Villa has a pretty good attack. Like we're not going to match up, and he played well. He had a few key blocks at the end. He played well, and then the other thing was Wan-Bissaka for the first goal. You know,
Just before you get into that, I want to say something. I feel like we're harsh on Maguire, and I feel like people are harsh on him just because of his price tag. Like
Yeah.
United desperately needed a center back, and
Yeah.
it almost seemed like they got whoever they could at the time. Like like someone who would justify
and they
spending big money on.
they wanted that big name to come in.
Yeah. I don't think he's the big name, and I think he's a good defender. He's just not, what was he, 80 million pounds?
He's
Whatever.
not worth
they've been-
85 million, I think it was.
Like he does do stupid things every now and then, but a lot of defenders do.
Right, like if he did the same things and was still playing for Leicester at the price he was,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
Or if he was,
no
they
one make a
bought him
big
for
deal of it.
35
Right.
million pounds.
The problem is also he's like the England starting center back, so he's a lot of expectation now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the worst thing you can have is expectation.
And I think one thing he does good is he does hold himself in a good, manner. Like he's
Yes.
gotten a lot of shit from the media, and
Well-
obviously he's
especially the whole
rightfully so for some
What
things.
was he? Was the grease thing?
He's had some off-season issues.
Yeah, off-season issues,
Yeah.
but like besides that, like people talk shit about him on social media all the time, like how shitty he is. So I mean, he still goes out there and plays. So
Yeah, like,
Right.
they
Cool.
offered him to take a few weeks off to kind of get his head right after that whole thing happened, and he's
Yeah.
like, nope, I'm playing.
But,
Because I
like,
have to prove myself.
Because
Which I
especially
like.
like in this day and age where like everything gets clipped and everything is like short snippets, you're not going to see the 4 balls that he clears out or the challenge that he wins. You're going to see the play where he rips Shaw out of the box and the other team scores.
There's no justifying that. That's terrible.
You're not going to see the clips where he actually plays his position well and clears the ball out and has that sliding save to stop the shot coming in. You're only going to see the stupid thing that he does for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's going to be played on repeat and repeat. And that goes for everything. That's not just him, but that's applying it to this example.
It's a bigger spotlight on him.
Right.
Yeah, but
It's a lot
And
funnier to
Pogba on
watch
the
that.
left.
yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of weird lineups.
It was
this week.
interesting. Like I said, United are still, in my opinion, still missing that center forward. Well, this game it couldn't have been Cavani. He has a 3-match ban.
You do have Fred though.
Shut up. So I think ideally, Fred's not in. Pogba's over there, Martial's on the outside, and you have Cavani up top,
Wrong.
and McTominay will play more defensive in the middle.
It's all about Fred.
Yeah, it is. But like I was saying, getting into the goals, Wan-Bissaka creates the first one down the right side, and he swings it across. And one thing that he's not known for, what the fuck are you standing like that for?
You said I don't look at you, so I'm trying to look at you more.
Is I don't like it, actually. Don't like it. Is his ability to go forward. Everyone knows him as like, all right, he can get back, make that last-second challenge, win the ball, but he's not great at whipping the ball in the box. And he does, and Martial is the first one to react. And I think, who's in goal? Who's our goal again?
Martinez.
Yeah. He kind of gets wrong-footed. He's kind of already diving near post for some reason, and it
was a very weird.
Gets flicked on far post.
No, I thought he was diving far post and it got flicked on near. No,
I don't think I flicked far.
Yeah, it flicked far.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, it was a 50-50 shot, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But so that's nice to see out of Wan-Bissaka's game, him going forward like that and getting better at supplying the ball in the box. What I didn't like was the Villa goal, because there was a foul on his side, and he decided, I'm not going to back up the 10 yards. I'm going to stay in the way. And then they played it quick, and he just kind of swung his leg up, and they just chipped it over him pretty much.
Well, the best part is they tried to play it quick the first time. It got called back. And then they got the ball back again and literally did the exact same pass they were trying to do the first time.
Yeah.
And
where you think at that point...
And Wan-Bissaka was still trying to get in his face and still didn't get back in position.
Like, you think at that point the defense would be like, all right, well, obviously they're going here. Maybe we should just shift one guy over, you know?
Yeah, and you got to do your scouting on that too, because Villa's a team that, like, they've scored... I've seen them score goals like this on multiple occasions where they take a free... Maybe
Crafty.
not even score, but, like, they get a chance off, like, taking a quick free kick.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to... Your players need to be ingrained knowing, okay, get in position.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to counter.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like United too. Like they looked, it was a fun game, like back and forth, and both teams defended well. But then they do these little slip ups like this, where they just don't pick up what's going on. They don't check back. They don't, do the small things, and especially when you're playing that quick to someone like Jack Grealish, he's gonna make something happen.
Who's pretty good.
Yeah, he can hold his own out there.
We'll say.
And he just plays a ball. It somehow gets through the entirety of the 18.
Nice dummy.
Yeah, right to Traore.
Oh, really nice dummy, yeah.
Takes a touch, and he has all day to finish.
Yeah.
Good finish. I mean, the keeper's coming out. I think Maguire was sliding at him, and they have the composure to just kind of put it right in between a sliding Maguire and an outstretched
Yeah, there was
foot.
a lot of shit going on from the goal, so it was pretty good to get
finish.
on target. And yeah.
After that, I kind of thought Villa was going to win. I figured at 1-0, I was like, all right, next goal is going to win this game. But United decided to press a little bit. I said it was end-to-end. Martinez, other than the first goal, really, where he kind of got wrong-footed, had a great game. They had a couple good saves as well. And then the penalty. Yeah, I agree. It was soft. Pogba gets the ball. He's kind of cutting across it, like just on the inside of the box, like the top of the box.
Ultra.
And as he's running, there's the slightest bit of contact on his foot, which causes him to kick himself and go down. Mm-hmm. He goes down. I mean, I don't think he could help going down because he wound up kicking himself.
Manchester United.
Tough to go down. And tough to stay on your feet, I should say. But
Bruno Fernandes.
Goal's a goal.
I'm kidding.
One's a win. But no, there is contact there, and I think they just see contact in someone going down.
Right.
It's the slightest bit of contact. Don't get me wrong, it was soft. Like I've seen, like if that went against United, I would have been pissed. But I mean, then United they hang on. Like I said, at the end, Eric Bailly had two giant sliding blocks. It was cool to see Bruno got subbed off, and it was cool to see some of the subs and Bruno run up to him at the end of the game, just jump on him and pretty much tackle him to the ground because they know how big of a moment that was, especially for him to have a big game coming back from all these injuries. But yeah, it's huge for United, especially when we get to the Liverpool result too. But
all right, I'm going to talk about the other team that played this game.
Yep.
I think the front four of Villa has I think it's pretty set now.
Yeah.
At least for the last 3-4 games, they've kind of gone with that same Watkins high, Grealish in the middle with Traore El Ghazi on the outside. And they have a great chemistry. Like they create so many chances between the four of them. The one thing I'll say about Watkins, who I'm high on, I think he can be a great player. He's still 24 or whatever. He definitely needs to work on his hold-up play because it was the same thing here against Bailly, and I think it was last week when they played Chelsea. It was against Zuma, and it was the same thing. Like they try to play balls to his feet, and he just gets overpowered. I mean, he's not a big guy. He's only 5'11", and he's not a strong guy really either. Like Aguero's not big, but he's got a little bit more, I think, size
Meat
to
to his
him.
bone.
Yeah, so he still can. I mean, he's not.
to his bone.
I wouldn't say that's his best part of his game, but he can do it. I think Watkins needs to either nothing but muscle up a little bit, or
hit the gym, boy,
or find different gaps in the defense where he's not going to have someone around his back to try and get the ball because it didn't work.
What I was going to say is for him, he could do that where he could back up to somebody, but then when the ball's going to get played, it can't really be in the air. They have to play on the ground, and he has to go get it.
Right, he's just gonna get bodied off.
Yeah, if he checks to the ball and brings the defender with him, or he stays on the defender and then he kind of rolls off his like a shoulder or something to make a run. I feel like as of right now, that's where he will be the most dangerous. But like you said, if he can get bigger and stronger, he'll be a very good like hold-up player. Because like you said, look at the three behind him.
If he can get into any type of like finishing form, I'm telling you right now, he could be top 5 in goals this year.
I could see it.
He just needs he's in so many good places and he has so many chances, but for the last like 2 weeks he can't buy a goal right now.
He had a few this game too.
Yeah, he just
hold up play and finishing. I mean, those are 2 pretty big things you need as a striker too. So, but yeah, I think the best part of his game is, to your point, like positioning and being in the right place and making runs that you need. And when you have Jack Grealish on your team, that's a good quality to have.
Helps.
You just need to be able to finish those chances.
Yeah.
Because he's going to find you.
I think he has 6 goals this year, I think so far, but definitely could have more.
Just basing off that, like I said, the last thing of this game, neither team, you look at these lineups, have that starting forward up top who can really have a big body to hold the ball up, like Watkins and Martial.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the reason why this game was just so wide open. There was no one to hold the ball up and really possess. It was just kind of go, through ball, and just attack the entire game.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. It
was fun. Like I said, it was. Now you could tell me it was dead even.
This game was even.
Yeah. So it was a fun game. Like I said, I'm happy for the points, and United, in the league at least, have a good stretch going. So I'll take it and move on.
Moving on. Can't harp too long.
No.
Okay. Tottenham leads. Brian, move your phone away from the microphone. Just so you know, if we ever get feedback, it's only because Brian has his phone next to the microphone.
I literally have it like in like an inch away sometimes, and it doesn't happen.
Might be the watch.
Back here it works.
Or it could be the watch.
I don't know. Whatever. But
get rid of your hands.
Yeah.
What should I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Like I said, Tottenham leads. Tottenham 3. Leeds 0.
So I'll talk. So basically,
I was gonna let Dan go. I feel like he hasn't said much.
Oh, you want me to say
I
something?
ramble a lot.
dang, you do. Every Man U game, it's like I honestly just like don't listen. But
well, that time we had a little,
We know it's like 20 minutes where we can let
Right,
Brian
we
just talk.
I'm gonna hear about Fred. I'm gonna hear about Bayern.
No.
Well, you brought up Fred
I
like
wasn't
14
saying a
times in
word
that
about
game.
Fred.
So,
I did not say Fred once. I don't know.
Oh my lord, damn.
so yeah, like we said, Tottenham 3 leads 0. I think it's at Tottenham Stadium. Penalty kick in the 29th minute. What do we think? It's like right on the edge of the 18. Ball played in. First of all, it was a mistake from the goalie on Leeds.
Oh yeah, it was a terrible pass.
Like you can't pass it there. I
You
mean,
just can't.
I think it's Harry Winks who steps into that and
So
takes the ball, and then gives it to Bergwijn. And
It's a stupid challenge.
yeah, I mean you got to be careful there too. The ball's coming in. He's right on the 18. Right. Any contact, he's gonna be looking for it.
Right,
which
and
you could tell he was.
Right, he's shielding, waiting for that pass to come. He doesn't care about the ball at all at this point.
No.
He's waiting for the player to come in behind him.
Yeah.
And he does.
And unlike the minimal contact you saw in the other game, like this was, he clearly takes his legs out.
Yeah.
But like I said, when we watch it back, to me, I feel like his right foot was in the 18 and his left foot, which got hit, was just outside. So I don't know. Maybe he was kind of leaning into the 18, so then if it's on the line, it's a pen.
I mean, it gets reviewed to be a pen,
thought
so
it
whatever the
should've-
rule is, but...
Yeah, I thought it should have maybe been outside, but
No, I think he's enough. He's
enough in, you think?
Yeah, and I think it's Alioski who makes who commits the foul, and it's dumb. Like his back's to the goal, just be there. He's not going to turn.
Like, on him.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure what's worth Malioski was the foul or the like super frosted tips on his hair.
Oh my lord!
Because it's probably a toss up.
It's like 90s Justin Timberlake on the
Yeah,
field.
oh my god!
I
It's
mean,
awful.
I like a frosted tip as much as the next guy, but it's a little much. Well, no.
Okay.
Oh lord!
So back to soccer things.
Yeah.
Football things for you British listeners.
So Harry
UK
Kane
listeners.
steps up and makes no mistake.
Right, yeah, he's going to score. It's
He
Kane.
does what Harry Kane does.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do again. So this is what we had when we talked about Tottenham last week, and we said they shouldn't sit back because teams are going to come back and counter, and especially a team like Leeds. So what happens? They sit back, and then they score 2 more goals. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Like,
Listen, we do that, and then the opposite happens. I talk about players I like, and then they start sucking. Managers start sucking.
you said Lampard.
This is the jinx of the podcast. I swear to God.
Because I can't even say, like, yeah, they kept attacking because they really didn't. Like, Leeds controlled the possession of this game, like 60-something to 30-something. Leeds pressed forward, couldn't score, and I don't know. They're apparently Tottenham is just going to keep the same way, and we're going to have the same conversation the next time they tie a 1-0 game to a 1-1 game at the end, and you can just play us as a broken record because I don't know what else to do.
I feel like it's just such a gamble playing that way. Like when it works, but you're obviously exposed to more attacking. You're exposed to other teams attacking more, and which leads to more chances. Obviously, you're going to be more disciplined on the defensive end, but you're still going to be exposed to that, and then you're going to rely on scoring on those counterattacks like they did on, the next goal, the Sun goal.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, too, like, Mourinho is just so stubborn and stuck in his ways. Like,
he's not
even the players are like, hey, coach, maybe, nope, shut up, you play my way.
Speaking of the Sun goal, by the way, is a great finish and a good ball from Kane.
Oh, great ball.
Kane adding to his assist lead that he has right now.
Yeah.
But a great finish by Son.
Whenever I think about that, I'm still, like, shocked.
That Kane's leading the league assist? Yeah, I know, it's insane.
Like, goals, okay, yeah, that's nothing really new there. But assists, like I just never until this season I've never seen him as a playmaker. It's
still hard to argue they're not the best duo in the league right now. Like I don't think there's
another better duo.
You're gonna hear Salah Mane. You'll hear that might be it honestly. Salah Mane.
I feel like they don't play with each other as well as these two do. I feel like yes they lead their team.
I almost feel like sometimes they don't play with each other, like in a weird way. Like I don't know.
Like, we mentioned this before.
You forgot Werner Havertz.
Oh, yeah. Like, we mentioned this before. Like, when one of them scores, the other one is just so happy. Like, Son scores this goal, and he turns, and as soon as he goes in, huge smile at Harry Kane. He's sprinting over to him.
It's like a movie moment where, like, this magic moment should be playing in the background. A fucking rainbow should pop over their heads.
I think it's one shining moment.
No, that's like... I think we're thinking of two different songs.
Okay.
It's just I don't know. It's nice to see a teammate that like they're just
either.
That's the NCAA basketball song.
It could be
the
either.
Tournament.
I have no
Sorry,
clue.
go ahead. Sidetracked again. We tend to do that
You're
a lot.
fine, but it's so cool to see two teammates that are like both scoring, assisting, but they're just so happy to do it for each other. Like I don't know. It's
Was it this game where Son said he scored and they were talking about it, he goes, yeah, but I'm just a little upset that I couldn't get get an assist for Harry.
Yeah, like it's just so cool. Like
what?
Like I said, they've been playing together for years.
Like, dude, you scored and you're mad because you couldn't assist Harry's goal.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's so
and
cool.
I think they're both in contract talks to extend their current contract.
There should be a package deal at this point.
Yeah,
if I'm a Spurs fan, which I'm not,
hard to know on that.
I would be ecstatic to hear that, especially with the way that they're both playing.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still young enough. Like.
Kane's always been talked about going to like a Real or like a another team like that, but I feel like
he'll be a lifer,
with him it's hard to leave given like how much he means to that club and like how much he's done to it.
Yeah,
done for it.
Done to it.
Yeah.
But so we said that the Son goal, great ball in from Kane. Son found himself in some space and just. Pretty much simple finish for him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, not simple, but it was a great finish.
Yeah.
And then they score a third right after halftime, which kind of puts this game to sleep.
The Alderweireld goal.
To bed? To bed. Not to sleep. Right?
No, it doesn't matter.
It's in the bed.
So it's on a corner. And
sounds like
he tucked him in, he sang him a lullaby, and went going to bed.
The goal comes on a corner, and this is something that we talked about last week that more teams should do. And I feel like I know I was a big advocate of this, where on a set piece or a corner.
Brian said one right thing, so you knew this was going to come up this week.
Where someone, you just take a big body and they just sprint near post and try and flick it on. And what does he do? Exactly that.
He heads it, and the goalkeeper from Leeds pretty much carries the ball into the net.
Yeah. I don't know what
wasn't his best
he was doing.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got caught by surprise. But again, I feel like that's what happens when you take a big body like that and just have him sprint to the near post and you just get something on it. Good things happen. And
it did. They scored. And then Doherty gets a kind of a stupid red late, but that's going to suck for them going forward. But right now it's, whatever. 3-0. Tottenham wins. Kind of good form for them after, I think, was it last week where they dropped points? So. Right?
I don't know.
Score check? Score check?
No, they were postponed last week.
Okay, 2 weeks ago they dropped points.
Before, they tied Wolves.
Okay, there we go. So. With the late goal. Right, okay, so moving on. Let's go to Crystal Palace 2, Sheffield United. Big fat 0. So let's take away from this game. I was actually kind of mad as they scored the second one because I believe my prediction was they're going to lose 1-0 because they lose 1-0 every single game.
You just said that.
But so
it was a cool goal, so it's okay.
Yeah, they lose 2-0. So pretty much 4 minutes in this game, you know they're going to lose because they go down 1-0 and Sheffield doesn't score. Sheffield United doesn't score. So it was pretty much just done deal 4 minutes in.
We have to throw the United in there now because people get pissed.
Dude, there was one guy that was like, "You're gonna lose the entire country if you don't." Say. I'm like, I don't know about that. Seems a little dramatic, but we'll try to say United going forward.
If the entire country of England's watching our podcast, and
we're doing all right.
Really good. Yeah, so
we may lose you as a viewer. Well, but if you're acting like that, I don't think I want you here.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if we look at like where people listen to, Sheffield's not our biggest market. If you are listening from Sheffield, that's pretty sick. We'll try to say United as much as we can, or Wednesday if we ever have to talk about them. But so moving on to the game.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, they go down 4 minutes in. And at this point...
Jeffrey Schlupp.
Yeah, at this point, you just know they're done.
It's so sad. It's like, well, they let one in.
It's like there's no life left in this
4 minutes
game.
in, you're like, that first win ain't coming today.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point, what point does he go? Like, what point is Wilder out?
When is he,
I mean, you have 2 points,
right?
Like,
at
2 points through what? 18 games?
Yeah. Like, at what point? I mean, I know he did a lot for this club, and last year was maybe like one of the best managers. But this year, I mean, you can't say 18 games is a mistake. Like, there's something seriously wrong now with this team.
Every time I watch them play,
Antoine Hackford is a sick name.
That is a sick name. The announcers always bring it up too. Like, all right, when does he go? And I think they mentioned at one point, like. Sorry, like like management's like, no, we want him to stay because we think he's going to be building something. But like, after last season,
the championship,
after last season to this season, that's like 2 steps forward and about 50 steps back. Like, what do you?
I mean, it sucks because I'm sure he has a lot of like great chemistry with the club. He's been there. He built a good team last year. But I mean, even Leicester at one point fired
Ranieri.
Yeah, after he won the league. I mean, at some point you just got to know when to cut that tie. Because I mean, look, Leicester now is top of the table, so obviously they made a good decision.
I think getting Brendan Rodgers was a
great hire.
Great hire for them
so
too.
You just got to understand that, like if you go too long without making a change, it's too late.
It's a little harsh. I don't want to talk too much about Leicester now, but now you got me thinking. Like it's kind of harsh, like that they fired him after everything too. Because I don't remember if it was the season after or the one after, but that's when they were starting to lose all their best players. Like Conte's gone, Mahrez is gone.
I think it was half of the following season that they won that.
And
the year was not the same.
And then they were
year
starting
after,
to reinvest in some of the other players as they're starting to bring in these other coaches.
What's his name?
Brendan Rodgers, and I think there was some before him. I can't remember.
Ranieri.
But then you get like the Madison, the Soyuncu, like all these guys. Indeed, he might have been there, but like they're staples, and they're like they're good players. They didn't really have that those couple years after they won the title. So.
What are you looking up? Hold on, we're gonna wait for Brian to look things up. Give a second.
But as you're looking that up, I'll introduce the second goal.
2015 to 2017 when they won it.
15, 16.
So then he was out in 17. So they won 15, 16, 16, 17. See ya.
Yeah, but was it 16, 17 or 17, 18 that he got fired?
He got fired in 17 because he had a new job in 17.
Okay, I get that, but there's 2 parts of each league in the same year.
I think he's saying was he
was it
what
April
part of the year was he
of 17 or is it like November of 17?
It's not a big deal. He got fired.
It was
year and a half
early
after.
17.
Early 17. Yeah. That's and he again.
Life.
It sucks, and he had probably one of the greatest runs in Premier League history and got fired less than a year later, maybe.
So back to this game and these managers.
Right. So back to Wilder.
We're not even talking about Leicester right now.
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing?
We're not even a Leicester game.
That guy that wants us to talk about Leicester more.
We got you.
We
had you. We had you there.
All right, I'll talk since you guys both took a drink at the same exact time.
You said you were talking about the Eze goal. I was waiting for it.
So,
this goal was sick.
Right before halftime, 6 minutes in added time, Eberechi Eze has a really nice solo goal. I think.
Props for trying to say the first name.
I think I said it pretty good. I think I did it justice.
I wasn't even attempting it.
Like some of the announcers saying, "Oh, it was like the goal of the season." I thought it was a good goal, but like, calm down. Like
Pump the brakes.
They said he was like weaving through people. I think he ran faster than some people and beat one person.
Yeah.
Which was really good of him to get past them. Don't get me
great
wrong,
goal.
great goal.
Right.
But it wasn't like the Sun goal last year. It won like the Premier League goal of the season.
Really dribbled through.
He ran from like
the
his
whole
18.
field.
Yeah. But anyway, he beats one defender, has a lot of time on top of the 18, and literally just passes it to the right hand side, like 5 yards outside the box, and really good finish. But yeah, he's a really player who's starting to hit his stride now. Like
Yeah,
we were high on him in the beginning of the year, and now he's starting to provide assists, score goals, and it's like exciting to see.
The two things, one about the goal, I said he passed it into the corner. He made that look so simple.
Yeah.
Like anybody, like I can go out there and do it. Like that's how easy he made that look.
Well, it ain't that simple.
Exactly. Well, he made it look like that because we both know I can't fucking do that. But the other thing is too, he comes on in this game. So is he? Now I don't know. You guys,
We watch Palace more. Is that what you're gonna say?
no, I'm saying, well, I don't know. Maybe you guys know more than me about this. But like, is he normally a starter or
He's flipped this year.
All right.
He started off not,
Then
and then
started.
he started, and then
I was just
he
curious.
did this game.
I mean, like I said, he's a great player.
I
Like
think it was an injury or something why he came on in the first half anyway. So
yeah, they got
Yeah, it was.
they got lucky with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be a great player. He's, like I said, he can create. He takes on players.
I'm curious to see how long he stays there.
I'm sure he's
Normally
signed to
young
some
players
type of-
young players like that who are very good. Normally, there's teams that are after them.
someone's gonna
pretty
poach
quick,
him,
right,
yeah.
22
someone's
years
gonna-
old, by the way. We looked it up.
Yeah, someone's gonna try and get him quick.
And I feel like Zaha will leave soon, which might influence his decision. Because I think once Zaha leaves,
The whole
I mean, if
team's gone.
Zaha leaves and Eze leaves, you could kiss goodbye to Palace at
Yeah.
this point.
yeah,
I mean, they still have Benteke going strong though.
Benny.
Oh Jesus Christ! But yeah.
All
So
right.
Palace win this one.
We
2-0.
we
Sheffield
we can only talk about
United lose again.
we can only talk about Sheffield United losing for so long before it's just like a broken record.
At least the next game.
Probably one of the most exciting games, if not the most exciting game of the week, shockingly enough, which you would never expect probably
Wolves,
from the matchup, but
Wolves and Brighton, 3-3 tie. Draw. I don't know. So I'm gonna yell for saying tie. I always get yelled at for shit.
because you say stupid shit.
I said tie.
You said Lampard was manager of the year,
you're the one who called
and you said
yourself
Leeds
out
was
for
going to be
that.
relegated.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was a bad call.
Still are. They still are. No, they're not.
Maybe after this last week, but all right, go ahead.
But yeah, like Garrett said, this is a game where I was thinking 1-0 game. I thought Wolves would win this maybe 1-2-0.
Nope.
Boy, was I wrong.
And what's funny is like it's not like this game was like a shootout. I mean, there was 4 shots on target for both teams, and both teams scored 3. I mean,
And each team scored a pen.
yeah.
Yeah, one of each is a pen. So, but let's talk about the first goal. Really nice like wing play from I think it's Troussard. He kind of beats his defender. He kind of slips the second time he cuts back,
Oh, yeah.
and then gets back up and plays a nice ball into Conley, and he just gets enough of a foot on it to deflect it past the
Yeah.
keeper. So that was a nice nice play, nice finish. Gets
13
them up
13
minutes in.
Quick
And
answer,
then-
though.
Yeah, really quick answer. Roman Saiz scores off a nice looping little header. I don't think it was a corner kick. I think it was a cross in, right?
Yeah,
I'm
it was
trying to
across,
remember.
yeah, from like closer to like the end line.
Yeah, and he literally just gets a nice little blinker header
Yeah,
over the
I
back.
think it like deflects first, and then he like is backpedaling and just.
Yeah.
No, but this
Like,
is the goal.
the issue is with that one, like for him, which is why it's impressive. It's like kind of floating at that point. He's backpedaling. He has to generate all the power on that. It's
He
not like
does.
a driven cross where he's got to get a piece of it. He's got to be jumping backwards and just put his head through that thing. And the loop that took was pretty goddamn impressive because it just kind of settled in the side net.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the one though where like the ball bounces back out to Semedo and he like screws it up, but it turns out to go down the line and he just crosses it in?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought so.
And I think he's been scoring like a couple goals recently too. Saiz is like a outside back, which is pretty
Yeah.
impressive. I guess they don't have Jimenez still, and
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
they got to find goals from somewhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe the other team can score for them. Like what happened in the next goal.
So this goal was so weird.
I mean, you can't. The defender can do nothing.
This is
here.
all Pedro Neto, really.
Yeah.
He has a nice play on the outside of the box. He like rips a shot, really
Rips.
hard goal. He can't really do much of it. He probably should have done better.
Yeah, so my thing was, I think when he like kind of jumped, he didn't really dive, and it looked like he just kind of threw his hand at it. Like, I think and like he just kind of just went straight in front. At that point, I think who was in goal for them? I think it's Sanchez. Yeah. He has to, instead of like he kind of hits it with his palm. I think he would rather have gotten that with like his fingertips to get that over or get it wide. And I mean, unfortunately, I don't know if the ball looked like it was moving. He did hit it hard as hell. So I guess maybe he just have time to adjust to it, but then it literally just hits straight off Dan Burn.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have time to react
can't
and
do
get out of the
anything.
way.
Yeah, it's right at his legs.
I think he tries to get out of the way, but it ends up
can't.
hitting him and
And I
going
think
in.
if he does get out of the way, I think there's somebody on Wolves right. Yeah, just right there anyway to tap it in.
Yeah.
So like he had to do something, and unfortunately, that's not what you do. But what was the next one? The pen, right?
Pen.
Yeah. So Wolves getting they score what in the
A pen.
44th
minute. So right before halftime. At this point, you think it's over. I mean, it's 3-1. They get a goal right before halftime.
Yeah,
And this is a Wolves team that's known. Sorry.
No, you go.
Wolves team that's known, or at least this season, that doesn't really score in the first half of games.
Yeah.
I think the majority of their goals, I think they were saying this during the broadcast, like come in the second half, like towards the end.
You have like the last 15 minutes of games.
And they scored 3 in the first half here. So it's like, okay, something changed here.
Right. It's like, oh, they're a new team maybe. They're finding some goals without Jimenez.
Oh,
Maybe something different.
Well, I mean, they did score the goals.
They
but, I
did,
mean,
but
didn't keep the lead.
Couldn't really defend the second half.
So right in the start of the second half.
By the way, we just talked about, like, they scored this pen. Traore celebrating. It's just a unit. Absolute
he's
unit.
massive. This dude's huge.
God.
But
We're going to
then-
talk about that every week because it's just like there's like a picture of here against like behind Dan Burton. His bicep is going to break my head off. So we'll just move on now.
But so right after halftime, Brighton get a pen of their own.
They do.
And they convert it
Which
up.
is pretty much like the best case scenario. Like you lose all the momentum, you get a penalty kick conceded right before halftime, and then I think it was 57 seconds into the second half.
Yeah.
You get a pen, which is like you have life now. I mean, that
and
is all
it's-
the momentum you need.
Yeah, and it's good for Maupay, too, because he scores the pen, and he's missed like 1 or 2 recently, too. So I think it's good for his confidence. People see him score, and they're like, okay, maybe they're
Maybe
giving
they're-
it more life.
So you're saying there's a chance?
That's another
chance.
player who
We're
in,
still
the,
in it.
who in the start of the season started the first 3-4 games, like a couple assists, few goals, and then just kind of tapered off. But
By the way, screw you kid on TikTok that said he was bad. He scored twice now because of you.
you're also the jinx, not
because
just us.
of you.
Because of you.
Because
of you.
Oh,
Copyright.
Lord.
We're going to get DMCA'd?
Yep.
They get to have 20 seconds of a song.
No, we're good.
DMCA'd.
Want to just sing 19 and a half seconds?
I know our voices are so good, guys, that you thought we were playing the actual song, but we were just singing that out loud.
Is that Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah, it is.
Why are we singing so much Kelly
That's the
Clarkson?
second
God
Kelly
damn.
Clarkson. Yo, Kelly, you want to sponsor us? All right, let's move on.
70th minute, though. Right in a...
Fucking shit show.
Lewis Dunk scores.
Yeah.
70th minute to tie it
the
up.
equalizer. Was this the corner?
I
Well,
can't
it's the
remember
last
if it was a
goal, so it
corner
had
or
to
if
be
it was
a-
a crossing. It was something like that.
Was it a corner?
It came in from the side.
Corner.
I think it's a
Corner.
corner.
Yeah, I think he starts his run just outside the 18, and he just sprints in. No one really picks him up. And I think this is one of those where he just had to pretty much redirect it.
Yeah, but
far post.
Yeah, but he redirects it off the head of the Wolves defender, and it goes in. It's highest in the head. Yeah, but it's going on net, so he gets the goal anyway.
Oh, that
but-
was this one. You're right. Yeah, but I think that was his second of the year.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I don't know. Whenever I watch Brighton, I just like him. I don't know why.
You
I
don't
feel
like him?
No, I just do.
Yeah, I think he's a very respectable player too.
I think he just works his ass off.
His passion when he scored too was sick.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, he was
just
pumped.
he works his ass off, and like you never really see him like getting angry. You see him like he's just a leader. He's
Yeah.
a good leader for this team. I really do like him when I watch Brighton.
I think he's pretty loyal to the club too, and
Yeah.
I think there's always been talks of him going to like
He's
a
been there for a while.
bigger English club too. So, yeah, I think he's definitely a good player, and it's good to see him score that game winner or game
Yeah.
tire,
Game tire.
game draw, or,
Game drawer.
Yeah, like we said, this was a game that kind of turned out to be the game of the weekend because you weren't expecting this type of game out of these two teams.
Yeah,
I think as far as I'm trying to, I think as far as Wolves are concerned, I mean it's obviously the drop of points and they're not happy about it. I mean you're
Right.
up 2 at halftime. And like you said, once that penalty kick goes in, you're like, okay, now they may have a chance here. But it's a big point for Brighton. I mean, it's just one more step of pulling out of the bottom 3. So good for them coming from 2 down and really fighting.
Are Brighton in the
back this
bottom
one.
3?
I
Nah.
said one step away from pulling away from the bottom 3.
Oh, okay.
they're down.
They're
there,
three.
but they're
They're 3
not-
points out.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah,
So,
they're not.
That helps.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, let's get into was the last game of Saturday. Arsenal 4, West Brom Big Vet 0.
Dan,
There was
got nice jersey you got on there.
Yeah, he's got a jersey on.
I can
for those
smile.
Of you for those of you listening and not watching, Dan, our Arsenal fan, is wearing a jersey.
And now that they're starting to win games,
They're
they're gonna
fucked.
fucking lose every single game now, like for the next 5 weeks.
What do they got
We're gonna
next
talk
week?
them up, and they're gonna get washed next week.
I
right,
mean,
Dan, all you.
let's be realistic. It was West Brom, but let's start with this. It was probably one of the coolest games to watch all season with the snow and just the overall atmosphere of the game.
We were sitting down watching this one together, the 3 of us.
Which we
and,
do for every game, of course.
Yes, every single game, all the time. And we just kept saying like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I think they were showing a replay and they cut back to like the live feed, and you could barely see because the snow was just coming down. It was awesome.
Down.
Like they cleared the 18s and the lines up at halftime. Like, it was, snow games hit different.
But
all right, let's get to the first goal in this one, Dan.
I'll just say, like, right from the start of the game, I think it was all Arsenal.
Fired up.
Oh yeah.
What?
Brian's over here like throwing his arm. I don't know.
This first goal had me yelling, and I'm a Man U fan.
I was also yelling.
Yeah, we were both yelling. Dan was in the bathroom.
So yeah, actually, it was really unfortunate timing for me. I just walked to the bathroom, and then I hear Garrett and Brian in the other room screaming, "Oh, do it to him! Do it to him!"
That's nasty.
So
That's nasty.
I have no context at this point because I can't see the
know
TV.
which TV
So I'm like,
about.
oh, it's probably Arsenal, getting scored on right now. I get out, see the replay. It's Kieran Tierney absolutely destroying the West Brom defense. My God, what a run!
Filthy, yeah,
he literally
filthy.
cuts back, gets onto his right foot, his weaker foot, and then plays a beautiful shot.
Yeah. Do it to him. Do it. He did it to him. He did it to him.
That was nasty.
So he's such a great player. He had himself a day too. I think
he did,
during the entire game, he was one of the standout players that we always went back to.
He had an assist in this one too, or something.
Yeah, to the last goal to Lacazette.
Yeah. But that's like like I said, that was a great individual effort, and then you said this before. I don't know which one was better, that goal or the second goal.
I think the second goal, man.
But this was one of the best team goals I've seen.
Yeah, I mean the first goal is an individual goal. The second goal is
this
a
was one of the
team goal.
best team goals.
If you're
I've
looking
seen
for
forever.
like a cool goal, Tierney's is a cool goal. Like he literally cuts someone up and scores. If you're looking for like a really nice soccer, well played goal,
right? Like
that's this soccer goal, the second goal.
Yeah, we were talking about this one, and I think there was 4 players involved, and the first one was Bellerin, and I don't think he took a few touches to settle the ball and Bellerin, whatever. He took a few touches to settle the ball and get forward. As soon as he played the ball, nobody else in this attack took more than 2 touches.
It was Bellerin to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe passes to Lacazette, who holds up. Smith Rowe continues his run, finds Smith Rowe, takes a really nice touch. And all he has to do is play the ball across, and Saka's right there.
Nice FIFA goal. It was a beautiful FIFA goal. That's it.
And you mentioned like some of the younger players, like Smith Rowe too.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it. Like he's a player in the middle who I feel like just is, he still has something to prove. So he just works his ass off for 90 minutes.
He's getting his chance. Then he's taking it right now.
Next time he doesn't start, there might be a mutiny at Arsenal. Like, for real, from the fans.
I like Arsenal,
but they're creating chances.
Yeah.
They haven't done this all season.
And it's their younger players who are getting involved and starting.
Well, I can tell you who it wasn't.
Mesut Ozil? Is that
no? What? What the fuck are you talking about?
It wasn't him, clearly.
I
know. Oh, yeah, it wasn't Aubameyang either, because that guy is.
But
I'm sorry, but yeah. Keep going. No, you go on the positives. I'll get the negatives in later.
You can do your Aubameyang.
Let's finish the goals first. Let's get to the goals.
So they end the half up 2-0. I think well deserved at that point, and you could just tell West Brom are struggling at this point.
Yeah.
They didn't have much of possession, I don't believe. Yeah, 62-38. They didn't have.
According to Brian, that's still close, by the way.
They didn't have too many chances.
Domination.
Chances. But yeah, second half starts, and then it's the Lacazette show. Not like great goals, but I mean, he scores. So
this
it's
first goal was hilarious. A ball comes in, I think, from the right side, and the West Brom defender pretty much volleyed it off his own post.
I was like, wait,
it goes right back to Lacazette.
I mean, it honestly would have been a great finish if it was an own goal.
Well, the ball comes in. The West Brom player takes a rip on his own net, hits off the post. Smith Rowe takes a shot on goal, gets blocked, and then lands to Lacazette. And he's really nice and composed in front of the net. So it's a good finish for him.
That was
got
funny,
his
though.
Jersey on, by the way.
And then 4 minutes later, he gets the second.
4 minutes later, gets a second, and
nothing like a good knee goal.
We're watching this game because Garrett he has Aubameyang on fantasy, who hasn't been stellar this year. Far from stellar.
Arsenal literally could have played with 10 men.
And I was playing against Tierney, which sucked.
Yikes. But basically, he gets the ball. He's starting to run up the field, and I just see Tierney making the run on the outside. I'm like, okay, you're not getting these points here.
Nope.
Because he passed the ball to Tierney.
No shot.
And he just sends a really nice ball in. All Lacazette has to do is really just throw a knee on it, which he did.
He does.
And
it goes like
he scores.
It goes like the roof of the net, too. Like it was a bullet cross, and he just touches it, and it just rockets into the top.
And I think at this point, it was like 4-0, and both teams were just kind of like, yeah, we're good. It's snowing. Like, we're just going to chill out the rest of this game.
I think
keep possession, and we're good.
Arsenal's like, yeah, we're just moving this ball for the next 25 minutes. Garrett, you ain't getting points today.
Yeah. And
before you
get into Aubameyang, the last couple things I'll say is I was harsh on Lacazette at the beginning of the year. Like, I still don't think he's like a great striker.
Dude, it's been over here the entire episode since I had it here for a second.
I feel like he's very inconsistent, and like he'll bring some kind of every now and then he'll like get in a groove, but like I feel like he's far too inconsistent at times. But now he's playing good. Like I'll give it to that. He's playing with passion, and he's been reliable up there, which I like to see. And if we want to get back pushing for a higher spot on the table, he needs to keep this play up. And the last thing I'll say is, I actually enjoy watching games again. So I don't know how much longer that's gonna be for. Probably not much longer, but for now, I'll take it.
All right.
So real quick, Arsenal.
No, I'm never gonna be able to say.
Title contenders, right? Have to be.
No, not a shot.
What did you say?
Title contenders.
They're lucky if they can contend for Champions League at this point.
Good point. Garrett, let's hear the rant.
All right, so let me just we don't like to talk about fantasy that much, but I had 2 players in this game that were fantasy players of mine. I had Gallagher from West Brom, and I have Aubameyang. Now, in a game where Arsenal scores 4 goals, you assume that not
this year.
Aubameyang is at least somewhat involved. Either he's got shots on target, or he has an assist, or he has a goal, or even has a good cross or 2. When I tell you this man didn't do nothing, other than set up Tierney for the last goal. He had the ball at his feet. He tried to shoot, misses wide, over the bar.
Blocked.
I have Gallagher. I'm like, all right, maybe he can do something. Nope, yellow card late in the game. Lost all those points. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, it was almost like someone was purposely screwing with me in this game. But
I think Tierney put up 40 against me, so that was fun.
On a realistic note, though, like, Aubameyang he just seems lost. It's sometimes in these games, even games that they're controlling, he almost seems like he's still out of place and like not sure positioning wise, like where he should be when they're in these build up plays. It's just strange to see someone go from top form to like a ghost almost.
Yeah, something's up. I think he needs a big game, and then hopefully things will go back to normal. But we'll see.
And it's really like you said, like you for someone who didn't watch the game and you just like check the score and check the stats, you see 4-0. Oh, Aubameyang played a part. But you check that, and then you don't even see it. And then to actually watch the game, like, this is a game where it's West Brom. You should be involved. You should be getting chances. And you're right, like, he's just not. Like, so it's weird to see, because when he's on the top of this game, he's nearly unstoppable. So,
all right, we gotta get through these games.
Yeah, before we get into the game Garrett's pulled up, just a quick
not that bad.
Side note. The early game on Sunday, so before these 2 games, was Burnley, Fulham.
Postponed.
COVID-related issues. Just wanted to get that out there. So into the game, the second game on Sunday, it is Leicester 2, Newcastle 1. At Newcastle,
No, what?
I hate the second goal scorer. I really do, for Leicester. I hate that it was Hielemans.
Why? Because he's the most important player on the team?
Who was the first one? Why? Who was the first one? Jamie Vardy.
Okay. What are we doing here? You guys made the whole argument last time. Goals roll, it's important.
Stats.
Stats, whatever.
That's just a stat.
So, all right, so let's get to like actual games. I mean, Leicester looks good. Newcastle held their own in this game, though. They had their own chances. They went forward. They created. I still think Leicester looked like the better team for the majority of it. They're just more dangerous. It just seems like every time Leicester goes forward with the ball, they're going to create some type of chance. Because basically, if you can find Vardy on a run, you're going to hopefully create something.
Which they do in the first goal.
Right, and that's exactly what happened. They find Vardy, and then Vardy finds Madison, on the cutback. And Madison's a great finish. I mean, it's an absolute rip from about the PK spot.
Yeah, one-timer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
I like a celebration, too.
What was the celebration?
I think he ran over
it's
and...
like Pong.
He ran over and he did a little Pong shot type thing. It was just kind of cool.
He watched his feet, too. He did it right by the 18. So
he did the whole line. And like a big up your Pong shot. It was so funny.
It's confirmed on this podcast. James Madison does indeed fuck. Okay. Absolutely.
Yes.
And then... I'm not going to say I talked it into existence or anything like that, but a great play by Yuri Tielemans. Gets the ball, picks the ball up in the midfield like every great midfielder does. Plays a beautiful ball out wide, right to the feet of his player, like a great midfielder does. Correct. Great box-to-box midfielders. The team transitions. He's all the way a part of that transition because he's a great player. So, as the great player does, great player passes it to his outside wing.
Shut up, man. Just say he scored a nice goal.
Wait,
you don't even keep saying this shit.
Not as the great player he scares, as the great player he does.
Right. So, as the great player that he is. And then that player I can't. Who's on the wing? Is it Barnes?
Albrighton.
Albrighton, sorry, other side. Albrighton goes, oh my God, let me find the best player on our team. Oh look, there's Tielemans right there.
No, he tried to find Vardy, but he's being blocked.
Yeah.
He's been guarded.
So
Tielemans is selfish.
So Albrighton cuts back, plays a nice ball across, but kind of back to Tielemans. Tielemans is on a one-time.
Really nice finish.
Yeah, beautiful finish. Curler near post, pretty much untouchable by the goalie. Darla didn't have much of a chance at it. And it's 2-0 Leicester, and you think the game's kind of put away, but you know,
some fight in Newcastle.
Just like you'd expect, Andy Carroll comes in and scores. Like
fucking Andy Carroll. How long has he been playing? I feel like he's got to be up there.
He's up there in age.
Yeah, he's like
it's that guy, Brian.
Mr. Stats Man over there.
Mr. Stats Man.
Sorry. Yeah, but I mean, like he scores a very. I feel like he either scores his goals on headers or like this, like
scrums
volley,
in the box.
little scrums. Yeah.
Actually, it's not that old.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was older.
Maybe because he just kind of
been around for a while.
Well, wasn't he injured forever too? Like he's been out a couple times for like long spells.
It's been around the block.
But they put him in and he makes a difference. So you know, shout out to the manager. He knew when to make the change. Bruce puts him in. He scores 82nd minute and gives Newcastle some life. Bruce. He gives Newcastle some life late on. But
I mean, win for Leicester away.
Yeah, a great win. I mean, Leicester, they're not going to kill teams, but they're going to put in a solid performance, and they're going to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat most of the time. And that's what they've done this year, and that's why they're where they are on the table.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like 4 years ago, they're like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, who is this team? Like, they're no. I mean, they won the league 5 years ago, but before that, like, I hadn't heard of Leicester City before that season. They come up. I think they're there for maybe 1 or 2 seasons, and now they're a mainstay in the top 6.
Now, if they were to go down, you would be shocked.
No,
I'm saying if they were ever to go down, you'd be like,
"No, I know."
Wait, what happened to that? Like they were. You know.
I'm just gonna. I want to segue real quick into that because you just said, you didn't hear who they were. You want to know why, guys? All right, so I'm gonna bash all of you people in our comments on TikTok once again.
Oh, here we go. I love this.
So we put up our thing of why we support the teams we do, and you guys were like, "Oh, well, of course you support big clubs." Let me explain something to you. What happens here in the United States of America? So when we're younger, we're maybe 8, 9, 10 at this point. Can I just tell you that the chance of us hearing of Reading and Queens Park Rangers and Middlesbrough and Brentford are really freaking slim. Okay,
yeah.
You hear especially when you're younger, you hear about the top teams because that's who most people here are
TV.
fans of, or that's who's on TV, or that's who we have the chance to watch. Like we're not gonna watch when we're 9 the championship. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. And like you guys have like these teams locally.
Right.
So we only found these teams like big teams through TV. You want what we have? The MLS.
If anything, you should respect us for liking these teams and not watching the MLS.
We have the MLS. You're lucky this isn't a podcast for the MLS and Pints, all right? We're not doing that shit.
Well, that's the best. People are like, oh, why don't you support your locals? I'm like, because our locals suck. You ever watch the games? Our league in the U.S. has all-star games, and there's no relegation, and it has playoffs, and it's pretty much the most dumb setup of any league in the world because it's just stupid.
There go all MLS fans.
I mean, if you're an MLS fan, I'm sorry, but the league sucks. All right, give it some stakes. Put a fucking relegation in. Stop doing a stupid all-star game. You make the league look so bad when you put all the best players in one league against one team from Europe.
And usually get smoked.
Right, and you're setting yourself up for just so much failure and just it looks optically terrible.
The worst part is too.
This is going on TikTok. We're fucking ranting real quick because I can't. All the guys, watch the MLS. No, I'm not gonna waste 2 hours of my life to watch the MLS when it's just bad.
What you know the MLS is bad is when people like us or Premier League fans call the MLS the place where big name players go to end their careers. That's when you know the MLS is absolutely awful. We can't do it over here. It's just terrible soccer to watch.
And why do you think the U.S. national team was so bad in the past? I mean, like they're playing players from the MLS, and you're not getting the competition you're getting overseas in Europe and England and everything. I know it's still Europe, but I'm saying like anywhere overseas.
Why do you think all our best players now are the players that don't play here?
And why are we starting to actually win games and like
because they don't play here. Yeah. That's why. Oh. So you know what? That's why we don't support them because they suck and it's not good. So you know what?
It's more fun to watch for us.
Bite me. How's that sound?
Oh wait, real quick, because you brought up the whole thing about why we support who we support.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck you guys. I'm calling the Man U. I don't care.
You should. Apparently, it was very bad. Why you?
It's Man U. Fuck off. Whatever.
I think you should actually be
Fuck
pretty
off.
respectable. I think it's kind of a dick move that year.
Dick. You're just wrong.
Yeah.
Why? Why can't I say Man U?
I don't know, but it was a pretty bad
Go
reason.
read the TikTok comments. They know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I know. No, I know.
Yeah, fuck off. The guy
It's-
that commented that was very respectable. He was like, guys, no offense. I just want to let you know.
There was another guy who said Man U really, and he was like an ass. Like,
Well,
you're
guess
not.
what? Don't focus on the negative comments. Focus on the nice guy. That's what I did.
The nice guy.
Thanks, nice guy.
All right.
So
Back
Leicester
on track.
Newcastle. Let's get at a 2-1. Let's move the fuck on.
Probably the game of the week, or the anticipated game of the
Yeah.
weekend.
Manchester City.
Most
Oh,
anticipated.
you meant the
game.
one coming up. I thought you meant the one we just had. And
No,
I was
we
like,
moved
I
off
really
that,
wasn't.
man.
Like,
We moved off.
Manchester City goes to Stamford Bridge, and they beat Chelsea
Since you've been gone.
by a score of 3-1.
Yikes, Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean,
Lampard best manager.
that was
You fucked
terrible.
that one up.
Oh, I fucked it a lot.
So can we just talk about first things first? This lineup comes out, and I'm like, well, we're literally playing without a striker. So
I didn't actually realize that
So-
until right now.
yeah, we pretty much started this lineup with De Bruyne playing center forward. Let's just put that out there. So I'm thinking to myself, well, this is gonna be a fucking shit show. It wasn't. I was wrong. I don't like. I mean, De Bruyne was lined up as a center forward, but a lot of the time dropped into the midfield and still created chances. He still played basically his natural position, just a little bit higher than he normally would have.
Sterling was up there too.
Right. And
The one thing about this lineup, real quick, because we just talked about the U.S. players. By the way, Jack Steffen, U.S. goalie.
I was gonna
See,
get there.
is always send them out.
Yeah, I was gonna get there.
Ship them off. Why beat you to it?
4. Okay, here we go. Go talk about Man U somewhere, would you? All right.
I would love to.
So things I liked about this lineup going into it, I don't like Zinchenko, but we're limited with backs because of COVID. We have the Gundogan, Rodri, a little bit different though. We're not. It's a different formation. Like Gundogan's more on the side, on the left side. Rodri's pretty much holding the center. Bernardo Silva still looks out of touch. I don't know what the hell happened to him in this offseason, but he still does not have his touch back or his confidence. I don't know what happened, but he's not himself. I am happy that Foden gets the start because he deserves the start at this point. He keeps scoring, he keeps creating, he keeps assisting, and I know he was pretty pissed when he didn't start the last game. So, and he comes in and he does what he has to do. He scores again. But we're gonna talk about Gundogan, the Golden Boot front runner.
He's up there, man. I mean, he's making a push.
Yeah, how many is he at right now?
So,
Like 3 or 4, but he's been scoring the last couple weeks.
so I think it's Foden plays the ball to him, and Gundogan is it Foden that plays the ball to him?
I don't remember.
It might have been Foden. I'm not sure. Plays the ball to Gundogan, kind of the top of the box, and
Wasn't it De Bruyne? Or no?
Yeah, he's got 3.
well, he got 3 in the last 3. I think.
It was someone.
So someone plays the ball to him on the top of the box, and he has a absolute filthy turn.
Yeah.
Like filthy.
yeah, it was
Leaves the
disgusting.
defender just absolutely confused, and then slots a goal on the right side, right past the goalie. So it was a great goal. I mean, I was like, oh my god. And I always complain about Gundogan too, because I don't know something about him that I don't always love, but he scores now, so sure, why not? And then Foden gets 3 minutes later. I can't even talk about much in between because it was pretty much right after. Ball plays across. I think De Bruyne played this one across. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Foden's at the near post and just gets the most delicate little touch with like his toe, flicks it over,
That's all he needed.
right past Mendy, goal. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this game might end 7-0.
That's really all he could do at that point too. Like when the ball's coming in, like if he put more of a foot on it, it's probably going out. He literally had to get the slightest little, right off the foot.
Little-
And
Everyone knows a little. Is, yeah.
Little-
Because I mean, your options there, which are you're running near post, so your options are try to open up your body and hit that right-footed, which would just kind of be impossibly hard, or do exactly what he did with your
Yeah.
left foot and just basically get enough on it to just get it directed on goal.
yeah.
So yeah, that happens. Foden scores again, and then De Bruyne scores.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun little
Sterling on a
10 minutes from
breakaway.
you.
Yeah, Sterling on a breakaway, takes it on, kind of runs away from his angle. Stays pretty composed in the box. Probably could have played the pass to De Bruyne. Takes the shot, hits off the post, finds De Bruyne's foot anyway. Then
Took the long way to get there.
right,
but-
and then De Bruyne shoots and he scores. And it's 3-0 at this point. Lampard's having a fucking aneurysm on the sideline. But I'm thinking to myself, well, this is a great game. I'm so happy right now. There was just something in this game where Chelsea just looked. They just were not able to settle themselves defensively with how much City moves off the ball.
Yeah.
Like Zuma positionally was lost in this game. I don't think he had any clue where the hell. And I think it's kind of weird too because he's got a center forward in De Bruyne who really isn't a center forward who dropped back a lot deeper than most center forwards will.
Yeah.
So I think they were just kind of thrown off and defensively they were out of sorts and they're without James again. Azpilicueta's playing. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference, but James is a good player, so. So yeah, I mean, the second half, it kind of just phased out a little bit. City just kept kind of defended more because they were up by 3 at that point. And their defense is great. The partnership between Diaz and Stones right now, I can't complain at all. I don't. There's nothing bad I could say.
Would have been nice to see them get the, at least for you to get the clean sheet, though.
Yeah, I'm sure for Stefan, too. It would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Chelsea scores a decent goal late. It's literally with like 50 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
What you were saying, about Stones and Diaz, that center back partnership, even watching the game today, which I fucking hated, Diaz was like, I don't remember him earlier on in the season like being as good as he is. Like watching
this is his first time ever playing.
Yeah, I'm watching
right?
like watching him, and then even Stones, like he's made a giant comeback out of nowhere too.
Yeah, talk about like a redemption story. Man.
Like,
I don't know what I thought he was gone.
Like, you guys just found like a good pairing there.
Yeah,
which is great because like you said, their defense has been playing well, and now that your center backs are just on the same page and you have that good partnership and the chemistry's there, it just makes life so much easier for you.
I'm just kind of hoping that like Pep doesn't do a Pep and then like next game start like Ake and Laporte, because like that's what it'll do, like just to piss me off.
What happened to Laporte? I thought he was always like.
He was our number one and
center back.
He might have. Well, he wasn't on the roster. I don't know if he was COVID contacted or what here, but he wasn't even in this game. But he hasn't been starting anyway. He's on the bench.
Walker was.
Jesus was.
Yeah.
Was Torres? I think Torres might have been one of them. Because we basically didn't have.
How do you say that name?
I'm not even gonna try it because I'm gonna be wrong. Luke Mbade Tatu.
That's a sick name.
The one thing I'd like to see is Aguero get a start. It's tough because like Pep obviously doesn't trust his fitness at this point, which is a little scary because we're like almost halfway through the season. But he'll be important in the last 12 games probably when they're trying to make that late season run.
So I think maybe he's waiting for the right game against maybe a team that's bottom 5 in the table, where he could go out there and he could put in maybe start a game and maybe put like 75, 80 minutes in.
Well, they did play Man U today, so I mean they could have done that.
Oh, fuck off.
I don't know if they risk starting him this game against Chelsea. I mean, maybe you see how the first half goes, which they're up 3-0. There's no need to put him in early in the second half.
You have to risk him.
Let him rest, let him, get back to fitness, and then, I mean, they're still scoring goals, and I mean, even with this, Kevin De Bruyne as their center forward, they're scoring, so there might be no need.
So I'm gonna bash into Brian's pick for manager of the year real fast. Because
I apologize.
There was a couple of these things that he made, decisions that he made in this game that made no sense to me. All right, so I have 2 problems with one player here at the same time. So Ziyech comes back from injury, right? You start Ziyech right off of injury, which I thought was a weird call off the bat. But not only do you start Ziyech, who's arguably your best crosser of the ball on the team, you start him and then don't start Giroud, who would be your best aerial threat for those crosses. So either A, like you don't start Ziyech because he just came back off injury, or you start him and then maybe start the center forward that pairs best with that style of play that he plays. I don't know. I thought that was a weird call. Like I get everyone's been calling for Werner to play in the center.
Yeah, I was gonna say Anthony, or our friend, was like really excited that like he's finally being played in position. Where was he?
But like it didn't make any difference here.
It's Kevin. I have to.
So it's just like, I don't know, like, man, how does that make any sense? Like, Giroud's been in decent form. You're playing one of the best teams in the league, and you just sit him? Like, and Werner, who's been form is just laughable at this point. I mean, I don't know, questionable decisions from the manager at best, I would say here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the starting Ziyech call is a little hard for me, and I don't know. I think something's wrong with Chelsea at the moment. I'm not sure what it is, but they don't look like the team they were a couple games ago. like
Yeah,
I jinxed them.
Beginning of the season, you did.
Sorry,
and I mean, and there's been
actually not sorry. Fuck them.
And there's been some people that'll say like with Werner and Havertz. How old's Havertz? Does anyone know real quick?
Like 23-ish, maybe.
And people are gonna say, every time Chelsea makes a signing, they let them go too early. Like they had De Bruyne on their squad, they let him go. They had Salah on their team, they let him go. And they're like, it's gonna take some time, but it's like, yeah, but when there's such high price tags, like those are people that are supposed to come and make that immediate impact. It's not supposed to be a 3-year project for the guy you just bought for $50 million. You know what I mean?
He's 21, by the way.
He's 21. All right, so he is still young.
He's 21. Wow.
But so he'll have a little more time, but he still hasn't made any impact. Like there's got to be some impact, some positives to look into his game, and there just hasn't been any.
No.
Which is horrible to say, but there really hasn't been much.
He got the assist in this game though.
He does, yeah.
So maybe that'll change things for him. But
here we go, guys.
That 190.
I thought you flipped me
that
off
190-minute assist.
All right, so we can move past this game. City looks great though. I'm happy about it, and there are 2 games in hand, and they're 5 points off the top of the table, which is pretty stoked. So.
All right, let's go to the last game, the Monday
game of the week. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Southampton 1, Liverpool 0.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm out of breath, so you guys can talk about this game.
This game right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Gates.
Yeah, Danny Ings on a free kick. Was it Ward-Prowse sent it in?
Yep.
Who else would it be for Southampton?
Who else?
Danny Ings, ball kind of goes in the 18. I don't even know. He just kind of this crazy flick that just somehow floats to the far post and just settles in the side netting.
It's like a play they drew up on the training ground too, because he kind of makes the run, left-hand side. Like if it doesn't go right, if he hits that ball poorly, he's gonna have no angle in because his body's gonna be facing the wrong way, and he's got to probably turn backwards and play the ball back. But it was a perfect ball and a really good awareness from Ings to know where he is on the pitch, because he literally, to Brian said, little doink shot in with his left foot, and beautiful placement.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things about this goal too is he ran right past Trent.
Trent made the mistake
right past him.
It was one of those where if you're not 100% sure you're going to get the ball in that situation, don't make the challenge.
Yeah.
And he did the worst thing you could do, was he made the challenge, so took himself completely out of the play when he didn't get it. And then just lets Ings right behind him. I mean, it was either you have to sit back and let Ings control the ball with his back to goal, or you have to know you're getting that ball. Yeah. You can't just go for it and miss, because at that point you're leaving Ings one-on-one. Although you don't expect him to finish it like that.
But the only argument you can make there is, okay, he's going to be kind of far wide. He's going to be a bouncing ball. There's no way he's going to get this on net. I mean, I'm taking the chance to win the ball.
But he's Danny fucking Ings.
Yeah. And then cool obviously guy. It's against his old team, so he runs off to the sideline. He doesn't really celebrate too much till his teammates get there and they just kind of jump on him. But
doesn't do a dick celebration like Walcott did against Arsenal.
Yeah, but it just makes it so much better when it's against Arsenal.
It's Arsenal. But then after that, I mean, I think Liverpool.
Liverpool had themselves a City game here.
Yeah, they just couldn't hit the net.
Yeah, that's
so to speak.
That was City in the beginning of the season. Literally could not score.
There was a few times I think where Salah was just chilling at the top of the box with nobody near him, and it went to row 50. They just couldn't find the net. And then credit to Southampton too. They were throwing their body in front, they're blocking shots, doing what they need to do. But when you're at the top of the table, and you can only manage, and you go down 1-0 in the second minute, and you can only manage one shot on goal the entire game. That's just, again, credit to Southampton, but if you're Liverpool there, it has to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument, at least results-wise, that, Liverpool and Chelsea are, 2 of the worst formed teams in the league right now. I mean, Liverpool's lost tie, Chelsea's lost tie loss. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty... I mean, even Palace is 1-1. Burnley's 1-2. Their last 3. I mean,
Arsenal 3 in a row. They're up there with you.
Arsenal 3 in a row. But this is a game.
West Ham too. It's 3.
But I don't think anyone enjoyed this victory more than one man.
Oh, what's his name? Their manager.
Oh, Hasenhüttl. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
Dude, I love seeing that.
On his knees in cheers.
See, now I want to get into a little conversation, because there was a lot of people who thought it was the coolest thing in the world, but there was also a lot of other people that thought it was a little much. Where are your guys' take on that situation?
I'm gonna go
because I saw a lot of both.
So I don't know. Is there? So before we get into it, is there a reason why this meant so much to him? Is there a specific reason, or is it because we just beat Liverpool? I mean,
I think it's the latter, to be honest with you.
Either way. As a United fan, and I hate Liverpool with all of my heart, I loved this celebration. I absolutely loved it. I mean, if anything, it just shows how passionate he is for his team and how much he believes in his team. You went out there and you beat the reigning champions, and you held them to one shot on goal. That's incredible to me. I mean, they're top of the table, and
that's awesome.
What?
That was his quote after the game.
Tears in my eyes because of the win. That's funny.
That's awesome.
I don't think it's too much. I mean, I think you see managers like, when their team scores, they celebrate for a few seconds, and then they have to go back to immediately, okay, but that's them getting focused. But after the game, they can win a big game, and the manager expected to walk up to the other manager, shake their hand, and then go, and then go talk to their players or go on the field, do whatever. Let them show some emotion after a big win, especially like this.
I didn't have a problem with like the emotion. I just thought the timing was kind of weird because like I don't know if you guys saw like the interaction with him and Klopp. Like it was just weird. Like Hasenhüttl was on his knees with his hands in his head crying, and like Klopp just like walks over, kind of pauses, and just like taps him on the shoulder and walks away because like he just didn't know what to do. Like I don't know. I think like I don't know. Like I guess mentally it was just a huge win for this guy. Like they haven't won. They haven't beat them in 5 years. I think they said.
It's huge. Yeah.
So like I get it. Like maybe like try to get through the handshake, and then like break down if it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing with like the emotions though. Maybe it just kind of came about him and
like I'm not gonna tear the guy apart. I don't think it was that bad as people were like, oh, you didn't win the title. It's like yeah, but you know what? The guy took over 2 years ago. They haven't beaten them ever.
I think it's a testament to like the hard work that him and the team have put in is like finally starting to pay off. They're up at the top of the table. Yeah. They're playing good soccer.
And come on, if you're a player on Southampton, you see your coach care that much.
Yeah,
it means something.
Yeah, I mean, you're like you see
Klopp
your coach
does that shit. And he doesn't cry, but he'll run on the field. It's essentially the same thing, but like, it's just
as a player, you see that, and you're like, he believes in us. He has our back. I'm going to go to war for this guy.
Right,
and that's what they do. And just before
your team does for you, right?
Yeah. Before we get up the topic of the topic of the managers, Klopp after this game, in his press conference, just came right after United. So immediately like, well, you know what? And I haven't had that many pens in 5 years that United's had this season. Probably true.
Well, there was that late. I don't know. There was a late call for a handball in this game. There was like a shot that came in.
I get that, but why do you have to go straight at us?
Because you guys suck. All right.
Second game in hand. There was actually tied for first game in hand. But, yeah.
There was a late challenge. We'll talk about it real fast. Where they take a shot in, and the defender's sliding. His arm's against his body, hits his arm. Like that's one of those calls where like the only way that's a handball to avoid a handball is to cut off the guy's arm. Like it's against his body. He's lunging in.
Or if you have his arm taped behind his back somehow.
With short of cutting off his arm, there's nothing that man could do to avoid that. And this is the weirdest thing that happened this year because they literally have changed the handball interpretation mid-season. Because I think early in the year, that's a pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But somehow they were like, well, guys, we're really fucking this up. So we're going to have to change this going forward.
Listen to the pod.
Yeah. But I think early in the season, that's a pen. But for the last, 6 or 7 weeks, it's not. It's just not.
Well, like I said, other than the game, like the game itself, I mean, the result is huge. I mean, now there's, United is equal on points with the game at hand, and United and Liverpool, not this coming week, but the following week, play each other. Like you said, Man City is 4 out with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
Leicester
Tottenham also
still
a game
up there.
in hand.
You skipped right over them.
Yeah. I'm just going to the teams that games in hand, but like Leicester.
I mean, Tottenham's got a game in hand. They're only 4 back.
Exactly. So this is.
Everton's got a game back, and they're 4 back.
It's huge. Like it's
Villa's 6 out with 2 back.
Villa has
2 games in hand.
Two
2 games in hand with 6 points back.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and
this seemed to be the greatest finish to a league that we've probably seen in a long time.
Yeah, and like you said,
after
the past few years where it's just been either just 2 teams battling it out or just a complete runaway.
Yeah,
this is fun.
This might actually come down to the last week and games actually mattering.
Yes, which we haven't. When was the last time we had that?
No, it hasn't been since then.
Guy, why did you have to do that?
That was like one of the most dramatic ends. Probably the most dramatic end to a season.
I just love that. Like, no matter
anyone cry.
No matter who you root for, like that'll be one of the greatest Premier League moments of all time. Yes, it will. You can't even argue that. It's not.
It hurts.
It hurts, but it hurts. Like it just is.
All right, we good?
Yes.
All right, so that was our recap of match week 17. Quick rundown of match week 18.
Well, we talk a lot now, huh?
Are you boys ready?
Yep.
Dan, Sheffield United are hosting Newcastle United.
Say it.
Newcastle win 2-0.
1-0.
No, 2-0.
Garrett, Everton go to Wolves.
That's actually a good game. I like that.
These are Tuesdays. Wait, these aren't weekends either.
There's no games.
There's no games this weekend.
Is there FA Cup this weekend?
There's games. Yeah, I think so.
Probably FA Cup, I'd imagine.
There's FA Cup this weekend. That's why.
So I think Everton wins this. I don't know. Wolves have been good, but I think Everton. If Hamas starts, I don't think Dini's back yet, but I think they can win this game. I'm gonna say it's like a 2-1 Everton.
Yeah. Man United. Sorry, guys. Go to Burnley.
Well done.
Listen, the amount of times I said "fuck you, Burnley," this would be the perfect story for the revenge. However, granted today the Carabao Cup not great, but United's run of form in the league has been good.
You guys lost to us.
Yeah, I think they come out. I think they win this game. I'm gonna say 3-0. I think they keep the clean sheet as well.
Nice.
Garrett, right back to you.
Ooh.
Brighton are going to Man
You
City.
have a good one. I would like to think City wins this game. I mean, Brighton's been decent, but I think City's is better. They should win this game.
Brighton has not been decent.
Well, they tied Wolves.
Draw, loss, draw.
All right, so they've been decent at tying. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like they've had good form, but I guess not. City should win this game. They should keep a shutout, I would hope at least. So.
All right, Dan, we're going to go back-to-back games.
You got two in a row. You have really great.
Two in a row.
You're probably the two best games of the weekend, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Your first one is Tottenham at Villa. That is a
Who do Arsenal play?
game. We'll get
I thought
there.
they play like Newcastle.
We'll get there.
No?
We'll get there.
Pals.
We'll get there.
Aston Villa is home against Tottenham.
Yeah.
I think it's a very
Great game.
intriguing game.
Phenomenal game.
This is interesting too with like both styles of play. Like Villa, they're more like going forward now, and we'd all know the way Mourinho and Tottenham play. So I think it could be like a 1-1. I'm gonna go 1-1.
That's a good score, I think.
Sorry, my voice just like gave out there.
There's a really cool game I was going to say. Like, I think it's going to be tough for Villa because we talked about like how teams that don't have an aerial threat struggle against Tottenham, and Watkins isn't that threat.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be like that 4 up top for Villa is going to be very important this game.
Yeah. Dan, right back to you. Arsenal are hosting Crystal Palace.
You think this is one of the games of the weekend?
No.
Oh,
You said you got a really good game, as in the Villa.
Yeah,
I thought you said they were both back-to-back really good games. Sorry. Okay.
No.
I think Arsenal at home against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace did have a decent win against Sheffield last week. Sheffield United.
Well
There
done.
you go. No one can yell at us now.
I think with Arsenal's form recently, which is weird saying, I think they'll get this win.
With their impressive form.
Yeah. I either see them winning like 2-0 or like Zaha having the game of his life and getting like 3. Like us losing like 3-0. So.
I can see like they put Luiz in for shits and gigs, and he just gets a red card 4 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
Like that 100% could be what happens.
All right, I'll finish it out. West Ham hosting West Brom.
Nice.
West Brom just aren't good.
The team with the better West.
West Ham's gonna win. I'm gonna say 2-0. I just don't think West Brom can hang with honestly anybody besides Sheffield United.
When is
at this
that
point.
game?
That's not till the following Tuesday. So they play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the following Tuesday. This is included in.
It's a weird match day
So
Is that a
situation.
Premier League game?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know because I think West Ham maybe had a postponement at some point this year. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's a postponed game. I'm not
Is
even
that a
seeing it in
postponed
my-
makeup game?
Yeah, so match day 18 is really the teams with games in hand, sort of.
Yeah. Because
Arsenal
Liverpool's not
aren't.
playing this week.
No, but Arsenal's not, though. But Villa, Tottenham, City all are.
Liverpool's not playing.
Liverpool's not. Yeah, this is just kind of like a weird throw-in week.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird situation.
Yeah.
So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 teams playing?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Well, I'm not counting, because I think wait, I don't even have. What the hell's going on? Where the hell do you
7.
have West Brom, West Ham? Am I
I didn't see that game either.
Bro, where are you?
I have it on day 18.
Did they move it or something?
I'm not sure. That's what I have.
I have that. What the?
You have it right there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I have it
the-
after match
no,
day
scroll down.
19.
Yeah,
No, I
scroll
see
down.
it. I see it. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the.
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
the 9th. But that's their. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So that's their match day 18, but it's actually happening after match day 19.
We just previewed match day 19, Garrett.
No, we didn't. We just previewed match day 18. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we did.
Right, and this is match day 19.
Oh, they have it out of order on.
No,
the
they
website.
don't. Look, match day 19 starts on the 15th, and that game you just talked about is Tuesday the 19th, which is after match day 19 technically takes place.
Jesus, this is a clusterfuck, huh?
So,
So technically.
yeah. So, guys.
Wait, how is this one also technically match day 18? We haven't. That's not on here. We haven't talked about that one yet either.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be honest with you.
The schedule's fucked.
I'm not sure what's going on with the
The
schedule,
schedule's
but
fucked.
so what we said with those games, let's hope they all apply, and let's get on to the next thing.
What the fuck? Look, you should look because this is the 19th, and that counts as match day 19.
Yeah.
But this is the 19th, and that counts as match day 18.
The schedule's fucked. All right, moving on.
All right, moving on. We have 2 topics here.
We do?
I thought.
Oh yeah.
One of them bigger than the other one. Which one do you guys want to start with?
I feel like we shouldn't talk too much about transfers.
Maybe give it next week, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, maybe mention some big ones that are going on.
Well, you already teased the West Ham one, so talk about that.
Was it Aller? Sebastian Aller, whatever it is. He is set to sign with Ajax, $25 million. He's only been at West Ham for 18 months.
He signed there last year.
And he joined for $45 million.
Not for nothing, but it's kind of weird. Like, it's not like he still starts for them sometimes. Like, it's weird to just be like transferred out. Like, come on.
And then just the other ones because Liverpool. Wijnaldum is directed to Liverpool's latest contract extension. He is set apparently to move to Barca.
Yeah, that's been talked about for a while. And also, City, De Bruyne was not happy with his first contract extension offer, but his contract literally runs till 2023.
And
so they got some time.
And then just one for Dan. I think Ozil is reportedly agreed to.
I was going to let Dan talk about that one, but it's fine.
That's right, you got it. he can pronounce the name, so.
Fabrenace? Right, maybe.
I think it's technically Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
But it's
whatever. Wasn't he linked to the MLS one?
I probably said it wrong.
He's also transferred to DC. Linked to DC United was another one.
Where players' careers go to die. There it is.
Yeah, but that's all we really got.
It makes more sense for him to go to Fenerbahce in Turkey.
I think it depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to market yourself, you fucking come here.
That
010 brand.
If he wants to play though, he could still go to Champions League there with that team.
Yeah.
And he's probably can make a lot more. He can probably make a lot of money there too, honestly.
Yeah, I think just branding wise. I mean, who knows? You can play there for 2 years and then come here.
That's probably what he'll do.
And then just isn't a player, but Poch goes to PSG.
Yeah.
Pochettino to PSG.
The seat under Ole might have just gotten a little bit cooler with him not available anymore.
I mean, they're in first place and they're second place in the league anyway, so
a game in hand.
He's fine.
So.
He's chilling.
Yeah, he's hanging out. Still can't win a semifinal game, but whatever.
All right.
Here we go.
Topic of the week. You're all on the edge of your seats to listen to this one.
I can't wait to get roasted again.
So there's a lot of young talent in the Premier League, but we're focusing on. God, what the fuck?
Dude, it's been here the entire time.
I'm gonna say that again. There's a lot of top talent in the Premier League. There's a lot of young players. We're going to talk about the best players under the age of 21.
Yeah, a lot of good ones, and a lot of them performing really good this year. So,
all right, we're all not going to be surprised by Dan's choice. We're going to let Dan go first.
A little bit of bias here, but I also think he's one of the best. You guys probably think so too.
I agree, yeah.
Saka from Arsenal. He's had.
Dude, I've had to hear the entire fucking game.
Would you guys chill for?
Yeah, because you can't hear Dan talking because you're static. All right, Dan, talk please.
So I'm going with Saka. I think he's just been. Obviously he's I think he's 20 years old or 19. Sorry, he's been Arsenal's best player this season. I think that's almost undisputed. He in a team that does not create much in the beginning of the season. He's been one of our bright spots. He only has 3 goals and 1 assist, but he doesn't need the assists. He creates those chances when we get them. He'll make runs. He'll actually try. He's one of the players that'll play for the badge, And I think they're trying to tie him down. He's also gotten a lot of time with the England national team in the last, I think, 2, call-ups. So he's starting to get noticed. He's starting to, and I think rightfully so. And I think someone just put out I don't remember the source, but the most valuable players in the world right now, and he's like 15th or something, and he has a market value of something crazy, which I would not even imagine. But in a team that has had a lot of darkness this year, he's been one of our bright spots, and I think he's just very technical. He plays good. He plays good going forward. So I'm going with Saka.
All right, Brian.
I'm gonna go with Lamptey from Brighton. He came over from Chelsea. I think it was £3 million, which looking at it now is an absolute steal for them. He's like I said, a young player in the back who's still kind of figuring it out in the Premier League. Beginning of the season, he was getting up the field. He was swinging in crosses. I think he had a goal or 2. He had a couple assists. But what makes him, a great outside back is when he gets up, he can also retreat and recover quickly. He is, in all honesty, one of the fastest outside backs I've seen. This dude can absolutely fly. And most players are slower with the ball at their feet than they're at a dead sprint. He may not be. He can get the ball. He can glide past players. He has quick feet in the back. He knows when to get rid of it, and he knows when to play out of the back or take a player on if he needs to. I said he's obviously the players talking about are still young. There's a learning curve, but I do think that's going to be a player Brighton's going to want to hold on to because going forward he does have the potential to be a top outside back in the Premier League. So yeah, I'm going to go Lamptey from Brighton.
He's also been linked, talking about rumors, been linked to Arsenal, actually. Like, I think they're actually interested in bringing him in for Bellerin.
I wouldn't be surprised if bigger teams are looking at him because, like I said, he's a player where if you could just, he has the defensive abilities, he's quick, he kind of reminds me of Wan-Bissaka in a way where if you could just kind of fine-tune him going forward.
I'm sorry, I'm missing that connection.
I'm talking about the going forward part. Where he's not the best at going forward, he can still fine-tune that a little bit. Like that, I think defensively, he's stronger defensively than he is offensively, in my opinion. So I think if you can fine-tune him a little bit going forward, just maybe get those crosses a little bit better, know when to step on the ball and play it back to the top of the box, instead of swing one in, I think he will be one of the best backs in the league, eventually.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that big teams want him and they want to try and mold him into that.
He's what, 19?
20.
20? Lamptey's
Yep.
20. All right. So my choice, at a surprising 20 years old, Reece James for Chelsea, as a right back this year, has been probably arguably the best right fullback in the league. He's incredible at going forward, but he's also solid defensively, which is hard to find both nowadays. I feel like he seems more mature than a 20-year-old. He understands the game well, his positioning as well, his defending. He does make sometimes the young mistake. But he has the speed to recover for it most of the time, which is what you want. He kind of has a little bit of like the Kyle Walker without the complete pace there, but like the ability to get up and get back, which is, Walker is, although I have my differences with him. He's a decent player.
What are your differences? Like he thinks he's good, you don't? You think he's not? You think so?
But I said James.
He's not.
Going into this year, we didn't know if he was going to start, if he was even going to play this year for Chelsea, but I think he's probably been arguably one of their best players, consistency-wise, this whole season. And like we say, he's only 20. He has so much more room to grow, and like even just built-wise, like he's pretty built for being only 20 years old. Like he competes physically with players that are 27, 28, older players. So
yeah, I'd say he's.
What the fuck are you guys laughing at?
I don't know what he's laughing at. To be dead honest with you,
That was good.
I don't know what he's laughing
Player
at.
analysis was good. It made me laugh.
Why?
I was gonna say something about James.
Go ahead.
No, hold on. We're gonna talk to Dan.
I'm good.
Let's talk. Let's stare at Dan and talk to him.
Say, well, obviously, Dan. Yeah, I agree that he's built. He's very physical for his age as a back.
I agree.
Which
He's like 20. I don't know. He's like 6 tall. He's pretty tall too.
Yeah, he is. But just real quick. Yeah, the players we picked. Yeah, there's probably more. Like Garrett mentioned, I think in a previous podcast. Okay, there's probably somebody on Sheffield that maybe Sheffield United. That's probably your favorite team, and he's like 19, and you think he's the best, and we're not. Sorry,
and it's
our opinions here,
and it's tough because you want to. There's other players that haven't really been given enough time, like from City. I could talk about Foden, who's just starting now and gets has an impact. I could talk about Torres, who just came over, gets signed. But
Pedro Neto from Wolves.
Neto from Wolves.
Playing great.
They're just not players that we haven't either seen enough of, or seen enough of this season. Haven't gotten starts this season that we'd like them to see. Like them to get, sorry.
Yeah, even last year with Greenwood, you could have. This time last year, yeah, I'm saying him. Now, nope.
Yeah, it's
all
a timing thing.
Yeah, and watch now that I said it, Lamptey's just gonna suck. 3 own goals this week. Wait for it. That's just how it goes for me. It's just how this goes.
3 own goals.
And in comments, I'm ready for it because it's always.
If he scores 3 own goals this year, this podcast is going right to the top because that clip is going off. Fuck. All right, I can't talk anymore.
We're at an hour and a half. Let's wrap this up.
You know the drill.
Yeah, everybody who's watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast app, whatever it may be, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. The socials are at League Pints. TikTok, you guys have been absolutely crushing that. We appreciate you guys watching the TikToks, following us, commenting. It was really cool to hear about how some of you became fans of the teams you support. We posted that TikTok.
Yeah, that was great. That was nice to see.
Yeah, that was cool to see. A couple of you said your parents were from there, so you support them. A few of you were on Dan's side. You just found them in a video game. I think
hold on,
the best United fan.
Yeah, no, hold on.
Garrett's got this one.
I got to give this kid props.
I love this one.
I wish I could have the username because he was the best story we had. He goes, I was just watching a game one day, and it was Manchester United playing Reading, and I said, the next team that scores is going to be the team that I support. And he goes, thank God Manchester United scored next. And I thought that was probably one of the funniest comments I think we've gotten all year. It was so funny.
Yeah. But other than that, I said thank you guys for listening, for watching. I think we have 3 podcasts that are over 70-something downloads now.
Yeah. By the way, just to put that in perspective, our first 3 had like 8. So.
Yeah, which is crazy. So it should, it's a big help that you guys go on TikTok, you watch, and if you share them with your friends or.
We're also up to like 45 subscribers on YouTube, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, which means you guys are actually watching us, which is a little weird knowing that now.
Why is it weird?
Why is it weird?
Really
That's the
doing
point. What do you think? The intent
for
there
them to
for
watch.
fun?
I don't know.
All right, guys. We hope you have a great day, great evening, great night, depending on where you are from.
Happy New Year, by the way.
See you later.